Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Moon Knight, Season 1, Episode 5, Asylum. They are indeed in an asylum. I am loving this show. I am so excited to watch this episode. It is the first one I'm going to watch the day it came out, finally. Just feeling a lot of excitement. This show has been phenomenal so far. A reminder that, as always, you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
You're
What on earth?
calm down, Mark. All right.
Is this the afterlife where you get, like, weighed up to see whether you're... I just know. With the big over-the-top syringes as well. Am I back here now?
Oh man.
You two like twins?
No. Yes, sort of.
Hey, great. That's really cleared this whole situation up for me.
Well, that makes two of us, because just a second ago I thought that I'd be.
I'm afraid you're actually quite dead.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, great.
I'm dead. We're dead. Yes. Yes, Mark.
Well, let's
That's right.
undo that, please.
The realm of the Duat.
Duat, the Egyptian underworld.
Ooh, because they...
This is Taweret, our journey to the afterlife. Wow. Oh.
Oh, Stephen's like, I'm dead, but this is the coolest thing ever.
So there's patience and there's Crawley, probably about to yell bingo! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Ooh. This is so cool.
If the scale's balanced by the time you end the journey.
Well, they're together as well.
Down into the Duat, where you will remain forever, frozen in sand.
Could we get back to life, please?
Balanced souls on my
There's a third person in the other sarcophagus, the one that fought that time.
Comes to it. Kill the hippo.
Oh my god! It can't balance.
Get in there and show each other the truth. Balance your scales before we arrive at the field of
Yes, please. Oh my god, yes, please.
souls will be destroyed.
Or we can do what she says and like help each other uncover whatever
Yes.
it is that we're hiding. Apparently, Stephen. I
Oh,
don't know
Lord.
about you, but my what's this? Stephen, what are we gonna do here? We're gonna like revisit every single memory I've ever had.
Yes. He's scared.
Do you remember this? Come on.
Are these all people he's killed?
Conchu wanted them punished. That's what he meant by protecting the travelers of the night. And you remember each person. You tried taking a life.
Khonshu should carry the guilt more than anyone else.
One of them would kill me instead.
Oh my lord.
The healing ended up being a curse. Scales are slowing down. It's working.
Because you're being vulnerable with each other.
Now what? Steve, don't go near him.
Is that him as a child? Because like he killed his childhood self?
Wait a moment. Mom?
Food's ready. Who's hungry?
He remembers her as his mum.
Keep an eye on your brother.
Oh no, did something happen to his brother?
A wild crocodile.
That's what Stephen always says.
Sounds to me like danger.
Don't the ground.
They used to love that movie.
Not when it's rainy. It'll be fine. Don't be a baby.
Oh no, are we about to Brisha Terabithia this? Because I'm not here for that. Oh, and that, whatever, you're your kids. It wasn't your fault. And then his mum blamed him. They were children.
Don't go any further. The water's rising way too fast.
It's not your fault, Mark, okay? You were just a kid. Yes, you should have listened to your mum, but you were a child. Oh. This is horrible. It wasn't your fault, you were a child. Like, yes. If only you would listen and you will beat himself up for forever for having Mama said don't do it in the rain and he still did it, but it's not your fault.
You were supposed to keep him safe.
Stephen, let's go.
This is Mark's awful memory.
This is all your fault. This is all your.
Did anyone go and comfort the child who did not mean to cause this?
Come here. Stop, don't go.
Oh,
We're just about to blow out the candles now.
oh, Mark. You did... This poor boy.
She's not coming.
The Khonshu really did take advantage of a vulnerable person. In Stephen's memory.
out your favorite cake.
Oh, the worst thing is when Stephen, in his life, he has a great relationship with his mum. He never talked about his dad. He was constantly leaving his mum voicemails telling her all about his day because that was what Mark wanted to remember and wanted to believe. The dad should have moved them away from the mum. I know she's grieving. I know she's not well, but...
No, you would do something like this. Mom, what are you doing?
He still views her as his mum.
What happened to that roof, Mark?
He should know.
All right. We will fix this. You're supposed to fix this. I mean, why
Oh.
haven't you?
He should have got her help sooner.
I cannot lose another son.
Oh,
You're not Steven.
Mark, you need to go through the pain of these memories.
Killed hostages. And you believe that? Yeah, wouldn't put it past you.
Mark, talk to him. It really seems like Stephen is Mark's memory of his brother, of having a mother that loved him, of how things were before, because he's Stephen Grant, like the archaeologist in their show, and he loves Egyptology, and you know, it's almost like he's got the love he had for his brother and the love his mother used to show him, and he just bonded it up into Stephen, and it breaks your heart.
Turns out going A.
This is when Khonshu found a very vulnerable person, not only. Whoa. I mean, he gave it everything to try and save those people. Oh shit. I mean, like, he grew up feeling the guilt of having killed his brother when it was an accident, and it was a dumb, stupid accident that they should never in a million years have gone into that cave when it was raining. He should have listened, but he was tiny himself. He didn't do it maliciously. It's a miracle he didn't also die. To then be part of something like this that gets innocent people killed and he can't stop it. Oh.
My eyes, my vengeance.
This was not someone in a state to
To be
consent.
my final word.
He was manipulating you from the start.
He was.
Kept us alive. Mark, he was taking advantage of you.
He did.
Or it was just a way for me to keep being what I've always been.
No.
A killer.
My darling,
Do
no.
you swear to protect
You were a
the
lost
travelers of
child.
light
Something terrible
and
happened.
bring
And you
my
should have been given
vengeance
love
to
and
those who
support
would do
and
them harm?
help to deal with it.
Rise and live again as my fist of vengeance, as my moon knight.
Unbalanced souls are being judged and condemned to the sands before their time. Oh, this is bad.
Oh dear.
This is evil.
Errol, you see how we have to go back? Help us free Khonshu.
Are you sure you want to be with Khonshu again? Seems like you really want to get away from him.
Yeah.
It is our only shot. That's the
Oh.
way it's gotta be.
Because you're a good person.
Please.
Do not fall over the edge. And there's still another sarcophagus.
We can just talk. Let's just talk. Right here. Right now. I'll tell you everything. Okay? I'm just begging you. Don't make us go there again.
He doesn't want to relive it.
I won't do it! I won't do it! You can't make me! You can't make me!
Oh, fuck.
Stop it.
Whenever he's fighting against what's happening, he ends up back here. Fuck. His dad should have protected him. Oh.
Bloody hell. Look at the state of this place. Better sort it out before Mum sees it.
Oh.
Open the door right now!
Oh.
Danger is near. Stephen Grant has no fear.
Fuck. He was just a scared child.
I didn't have to make him do
I want to see what she did. I want to see what she did.
No, you don't.
You're not meant to see that. You're not meant to see that. That's the whole point of it.
Oh,
The point of me.
I know.
The point of me, what, to be a stress ball? But it was all a lie, wasn't it? So what?
It was real to Mark, for
What, you want to
Mark.
remember the truth? That you had a mother that beat you? That hated you? that made your life a living hell? And you're just thinking that she loved you, that she was kind, that she's still alive.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
This is all wrong. Stephen, I'm sorry.
Is that what led to him leaving as Stephen more and more?
Let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out.
Oh.
Let me out.
Holy shit.
What's this? Is this some kind of test?
Fuck.
Recognize this place.
It's time for him to face up to some things.
Stephen, I'm your dad. Nosy?
That's why Stephen is that bit more innocent and he's just all the good parts that Mark wanted to protect.
What do you mean? No, actually, if I do that, it'll take 2 seconds.
Just confronting the truth.
Hey, Dylan.
I hate this. Both of them deserved a real mum that loves them. The dad should have got her some kind of real help and moved Mark out when he was very young, before it got this bad. This is horrible.
Mom's death in Shiva 2 months ago. This was the moment our lives started bleeding into each other.
Fuck.
The things I'd done. Mom. All those horrible things that she said to you. She was wrong. It wasn't your fault.
She was wrong.
I shouldn't have brought him in that cave. I shouldn't have brought him in that cave. You were just a child. It wasn't your fault.
It wasn't your fault. It really wasn't your fault.
The unbalanced souls of the Duat now must claim yours.
No, go find your third part. At some point when the killing got too much, did Mark create a persona that could do it for him? Fucking hell.
Mark, you don't look very friendly. Hi. Hi.
Oh. Come on, third person. We need you now.
You've got this. But if I'm you, it means I've got this too.
Oh. They really are gonna understand each other now. Fuck! Oh my god!
Stephen! Stephen! Wait! Stephen! Run! Run!
What the fuck?
Keep the stop the boat! Stop the boat! Stephen!
No. No.
The scales are balanced.
Stephen here too? Fuck. That episode was phenomenal. Just out of this world amazing. It makes so much sense, you know, it's kind of the sort of thing I've been thinking. I haven't had a chance to watch anyone else's reactions because I've been so busy trying to catch up to see what other people have been thinking about this show. But it made sense that Mark was the original person, and that something terrible happened and that's what created Stephen, and that it was Stephen was all the innocent good parts with a mum that loves him and no memory of the terrible incident with his brother, and it was not Mark's fault. Not in 1,000 years. It is the sort of thing that there will always be a part of him that would think it's my fault because I shouldn't have gone in there, I was the big brother. But he was a child himself. It was not his fault. At all. The parents should never have let them play in that cave in the first place. But it was no one's fault. It was a terrible, terrible accident that the water went that quickly. And again, like, it breaks your heart to think of a mother being able to turn on her child like that. Now, obviously, she lost herself in her grief. Not an excuse, but it's an explanation. And it was the father's job to take Mark away from that. somehow. And yes, even if Mark would have still been screwed up by what happened to a degree, because anyone who goes through something traumatic like that as a child would need a lot of mental health help, because not only did his brother die, and he probably watched him drown or almost drowned himself. God knows what happened. You know, Mark wouldn't have just been like, oh, my brother's drowning. He'd have been trying to help him survive or trying to survive himself. Whatever happened in that cave would scar you for life. Then having to not be with your mother because she blames you would scar you for life, but it would be safer than what he did go through. And the fact that Stephen was something he used to play with his brother, it was something they used to do together, makes it even more emotional. That was his innocent, happy, safe place. But that is why Stephen is that little bit more innocent, and it was a lot for Stephen to go through these memories and to see the real harsh truths of their life that he never knew. I still think there's a third person, right? Am I just totally off track with this? Because both of them claim they didn't kill those people, but before they dangled the guy off the cliff when he cut the thing. But like, both of them claimed it wasn't them that did the killing. There was a third sarcophagus. There's someone else, right? Now, is Stephen also in the reeds? Because if Stephen's like dead, I am not emotionally prepared for that right now. I mean, I suppose as long as one of them is alive, the show can carry on. I wonder if, like, if Mark died, they'd all die, or if Mark died but Stephen was still alive, could Stephen just take the body? It's just, it's a lot. It's intense. It almost seems like after what happened with his mother and Stephen took control, that Mark was just okay with Stephen being the one who lived the life, and then he just took it over when he needed to, and he was okay with Stephen. Like, he stopped thinking he deserved to be with Layla and to have a life. No matter what, I really hope Mark and Stephen make it out of this. I don't know how Stephen does make it out of this, because the thing balanced, but he was already there. But if his heart's balanced, then surely he should come back up, right? Please tell me in the comments, either way, what's happened with Stephen, if he's going to come back. I don't want to dwell too much on him being dead right now, because I will cry for a lot more than I'm going through enough right now, basically, because they are brothers in a lot of ways. They're two parts of the same person. They love each other so much, and for them to really just get this connection with each other, to really understand each other and get to know each other, and then for Stephen to be lost saving Mark. For one thing, that is the last thing Mark needs in his life, is to feel like somebody else has died trying to help him. And especially someone that represented all the innocence and good parts. And, you know, Stephen being initially angry, like, you know, oh, I'm just your stress toy. Of course he's allowed to feel that way. But Mark loved him and wanted to protect it so much. Oscar Isaac, phenomenal. I already loved him as an actor, but he's just done such a good job. This episode was a lot. It was a lot of very intense. It shows you that when traumatic things happen, please go to therapy. Whether you're the parent who's lost a child, obviously the child can't choose to go themselves. If you are living with someone and you love them, but they are losing themselves and they are causing harm to your child, you have to put the child first and get out of that situation. I don't know, obviously, like, a lot of things like mental health services for the mother or anything like that are financial issues, and if you just divorced her and been like, get out of our house, then you would feel like you were abandoning someone you loved. I know it isn't as cut and dry, but there are things that could have been done to help Mark. You know, the dad was there when she went upstairs and grabbed the belt. Like, he knew, and he did nothing, and Mark had to be the one to leave. I believe his dad loves him. I believe his dad was someone stuck in an impossible situation of grief himself, trying to do the right thing by everybody, but he ultimately did the right thing by nobody. Because he's human, but he enabled everything that happened to Mark. So I just want to give Mark a hug. The fact when Stephen said everything she said to you wasn't true. You were a kid. It wasn't true. It wasn't your fault. It's like no one had ever said that to him. Ever, including his dad. Like, because if you have one parent constantly berating you and the other parent constantly saying it's not your fault, you're still my little boy, I still love you, it's like part of the dad agreed with the mum, but he knew not to say it because it wasn't the right thing to do, and so he never gave him enough of the other side affirmation, if that makes sense. But the fact that I don't think he's ever told Layla. I don't think he ever told anybody the dark sides of himself. The scene with Khonshu as well. I don't like Khonshu. Now, I prefer Khonshu to Amnet, and in general I don't like the gods, which I think makes sense because the gods are arrogant, they think they know best, they think mortal lives are theirs to play with. That is what a god is. He took someone that was vulnerable. He knew he had a split personality, which, sorry, I don't think that's the right term, is it? If that is an offensive term, I'm beyond sorry. He had a dissociative identity. They knew that, you know, and he was like, great, I can use this. And this person who was literally about to commit suicide, and you manipulate him into becoming your weapon. You know, someone who looked at the fact that he just got got almost killed. If not, was he already bleeding out? I don't know. But he got brutally injured trying desperately to save the lives of innocent people. Carrying that on his guilt. Carrying that. And he thought, he'll be one. I can definitely make him responsible for some more murders. You know, Mark would never... It would destroy Mark, as it has been doing. It's why I do think there is a third person, potentially someone that when it gets too much, when he can't cope with all the violence and everything that's happening, there is someone that takes over and does it for him. I really do think there is a third person that Khonshu maybe even helped create, because he knows humans sometimes they get, oh, I don't really want to go do that awful thing you want me to do. There's a person that will do it. I do wonder about that. Oh fuck. I don't like Khonshu. I don't agree with what he did in the slightest. I think he is someone that his ultimate goal might be one you could support, but his actions, he's like an anti-hero, not a hero. Whereas Amnet is an Harrow, just a villain. Now, all of those souls fallen, that makes it seem as though Amnet is back, right? If it's at that scale of people before their time being judged, they don't have a chance to be put on the ferry or whatever, like that does seem like Amnet's doing, right? Which means he's revived her, or is in the process of reviving her. If the freaking rest of the gods can't be like, oh yeah, the Khonshu, we sort of turned him into stone right after he warned us about this thing that's currently happening was going to happen. Awkward. If they don't revive him, what? So surely they're going to have to revive him, or is Mark gonna have to make his way out of the underworld and go and be like, can you just fucking revive Khonshu now? But surely it's about time they did revive Khonshu. As much as I don't like him, right now we need him. And the fact that Mark is willing to go back, and Mark is gonna have to leave paradise to go back and be part of all the bloodshed and the killing. Fuck. He deserves peace, but so does Stephen. I can't delve too much into this, but yeah, the fact that Mark was saying, like, after everything, he's still willing to go back. I think one of my absolute favourite things about this is the way Mark is so protective over Stephen. Stephen is just as protective over Mark. And I love that so much. And it's part of why I will be absolutely devastated if Stephen is gone. Because I want to see more of their dynamic together. I don't think he will be, but I also could see it, like, I think he might be, because I don't see how he gets out of that. But then if the scale's balanced and the gods can revive somebody from the good place, surely the gods can revive somebody from the bad place too. This was just so intense. The finale, it's got to be like 6 hours long, right? Because we've got to deal with getting them out of the underworld, or at least Mark, hopefully both. We've got to have him and Layla. We've got to deal with Khonshu and Amnet. We've got to deal with Amnet, for one thing. Then we've got to deal with Khonshu and, like, how he's treated Mark being wrong, to a degree, shortly. And then, potentially Mark and his father, or Mark being like, Dad, you weren't there for me. No, I don't know. Like, Mark basically, I need Mark to be in a good place. Just a lot needs to happen in this finale. I adore this show so much. A reminder that you can find the unedited versions of these reactions on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.